We've ridden the tram, now the goal is to ride the longest escalator in the world. Guys, this is prohibited stuff, you can take it with you. You can take a turtle with you. You cannot bring dead seahorses with you. Very stylish information stands. Zara, Saint Laurent, Disneyland. There are a lot of different shops here and of course restaurants. Diesel cars cannot be shipped to Hong Kong.
This is one of the favorite parks. There are a few parks like this in Hong Kong.
Geez, see how many people there are. It's completely packed. Double-decker trams, suitcases going to the plane straight from the train station, ferry crossings in the city center, the longest escalators in the world, and for dessert, funiculars with panoramic windows to make you feel like a stingray in the Dubai Mall aquarium. All this is about transport in Hong Kong. Day 2, I'm walking along a shopping street now. Just past a Coach store. Then there are also Nike and Adidas stores. There's a lot of stores here, it's called Nathan Street. Shops, malls, more things are being built and renovated. Overall, everything's good here with shopping. Not just good, very good. Sol just called me and I need to go meet him, but where's he waiting for me? You'll find out later. First, a short introduction. Hong Kong transit system is recognized one of the most efficient and convenient in the world. The first thing you'll encounter in Hong Kong is its airport, also known as Chaklap Kok, one of the largest and busiest airports in the world. It has excellent service, it's connected to the city by express trains, buses and taxis. Very stylish information stands, I really like it and it's interactive. Any questions? Ask me, let's do it. Airlines, flights, shops. Let's do shops. Fashion. Show me what you have about fashion. Zara, Saint Laurent, Disneyland, Tory, Zagna, Bulgari, Louis Vuitton. How to go there? Guys, this is prohibited stuff. You can take it with you. You can take a turtle with you. Dried seafood. You cannot bring dried seahorses with you. That's really funny. The skin of all sorts of cold-blooded animals and lizards is not allowed. Well, and just animal skin too. I'm hoping we don't have anything like that with us. I need to check my bags. When you arrive at Hong Kong Airport, take the Airport Express. It will take you to the city center in 45 minutes. When you will be departing from Hong Kong, consider this very cool feature. Right in the city, at the Hong Kong and Kowloon MTR stations, there are special check-in counters where passengers can get their boarding passes and check in their luggage into separate carriages, which after inspection and control are automatically sent from the train directly onto the airplane. No need to drag your stuff through all the carriages and stairs and put it on the belt for a stern lady to check. How do you like that? A common misconception is that Chinese people are small. Not true at all, you can see clearly in Hong Kong, a lot of tall people here, as tall as we have in Russia. A lot of girls who are taller than me, like 180, 185 centimeters, as far as style and fashion are concerned. Yes, there are people not so stylish, but many of them come from the Philippines to earn money here. They work as all kinds of housemaids, nannies, but there are also a lot of fashionable, stylish Chinese people. Not surprising given how strong shopping is here. Naturally, people will be buying stuff. The MTR metro system is the backbone of Hong Kong's urban transport. The stations are clean and well organized, trains run at high frequency. What else can you ride in Hong Kong as a part of public transport? buses, trams, ferries, and of course taxis. It has a lot of cool old cars, they all have the same style. Obviously, they're more expensive than other types of transport. Green, red and blue taxis are distinguished depending on the areas where you drive. How to pay? Octopus card. It is a contactless transport card that can be used in almost all types of transport. The Hong Kong MTR has over 200 kilometers of tracks and 159 stations, not counting the 35 kilometers long Airport Express line with 5 stations. Hong Kong's subway system was established in 1979. Now the system includes lines covering Hong Kong Island, Kowloon, the New Territories, and even some areas of mainland China. For example, you can get from Hong Kong to Guangzhou by high-speed train in just 47 minutes. I don't understand a thing. Well, there are some signs in English. We'll try to figure it out. Oh, there it is. Still one line. I'll try to figure it out. So far, I haven't. To use the Hong Kong MTR, you need to buy the Octopus card. It's similar to Moscow's Troika or London's Oyster card. It can be topped up and used in any Hong Kong transport. Same card is used by locals in other establishments, such as restaurants or cafes, and in some educational institutions they're used as access cards. Over 20 million cards have been issued, which is more than twice the population of Hong Kong itself. There are whole streets above ground here. The crossings go over all the intersections and continue further. That is, you don't simply cross the road and go back down, but you can go another 200 meters further, and it's like overground street, so to speak. Yesterday evening, my nose got stuffed up. Why? Despite the fact that during the day the temperature rises to 24 Celsius, and now it's 19 at 10 in the morning, but when you go into the metro or some store or a lot of other places, the air conditioning is so intense it doesn't just work, it blows you away. I was riding the subway and I didn't know where to stand because the cold air was blowing in my head so hard it was quite unpleasant. As I'm talking to you, I'm walking along this overground street. The entire time I crossed from one to another. By the way, yesterday I was told about the longest outdoors escalator in the entire world. Get it? There are many such unusual things here. I'm continuing to walk above the ground. As for Hong Kong trams, they're one of the symbols and even attractions here. Colloquial speech, trams are often called ding-ding here due to characteristic ringing of the bell. If you don't get a chance to ride Hong Kong's double-deckers or put it off for another visit, keep in mind that you can also find double-decker trams in Blackpool, England, and Alexandria, Egypt, and that's it. The only other way you can find double-decker trams in the world is as a museum exhibit, but not as public transport. What can Hong Kong be proud of? A lot of things, but also its fleet of double-decker trams. It is the largest in the world with 170 carriages. Moreover, there are not only ordinary trams for public transit, but also custom disco trams where you can throw a private party. There are about 120 stops on the line with 240,000 passengers riding on the double-decker trams every day. The history of these trams began in 1904 and they became the earliest public transport in the region. It's hard to believe that at some point, due to financial problems, the authorities wanted to remove these iconic trams. But fortunately, the drivers did not allow this to happen. I've already been to the pier yesterday. Today I should at least try to ride on the ferry. This is the ferry ride.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We swam around and finally arrived at a museum on the water. Now look, it's dried fish here. This is a typical houseboat, and here's what it looked like. Fishermen lived right on these boats. This hallway, the bed where they slept. The toilet, check it out, just a hole. And the second floor as well, just a roof. Listen, the second floor on this boat could have been used as a full-fledged yard of some sort. It's a huge thing. You could put up some sun lounges, catch yourself some fish and seafood, fry it, and enjoy the blue water, beaches, travel. It's romantic. You can see now why the fishermen did not want to leave when they wanted to evict them. I've stopped at the water stop, let's call it that, for we stop from the water. Then they dock at another boat, and in another boat they have a sort of souvenir shop selling stuff. Here, take a look. It's really cool. It seems to me that they have whole streets made of boats, and they shuttle along these water streets back and forth, left and right, and doing business. Really smart. The Big Tram, it is a funicular. I've just arrived here and was sent off for a walk. I bought a ticket. It's 140 Hong Kong dollars, but I have to wait half an hour. And now my favorite thing, the Big Tram Funicular. The name comes from two English words, peak or mountain top, and a tram, a carriage. Where does the funicular depart from? From a special station in mid-levels. It goes to the very top, where you'll find a shopping center, restaurants, and an observation deck overlooking Hong Kong. It is one of the oldest funiculars in the world, opened in 1888. In May of the same year, former Scottish Railways employee Alexander Finlay Smith applied for a funicular to be built from St. John's Cathedral to the top of the mountain. Construction work began in 1885 and lasted for about 3 years. And it was not easy. Workers manually carried equipment and rails up the mountain slide. The first stations were built from wooden planks. Coal-fired steam boilers were used to move the train. The original carriages are made of varnished wood with seating for 30 passengers. They were divided into 3 classes. The central part was intended for first-class passengers. Windows are also on the roof. Do you see how many people there are? It is completely packed. A first-class ride to the summit used to cost 30 cents, second class 20 and third class 10 cents. The descent from the mountain cost half as much. That same year, Smith redesigned his mansion into a hotel and called it, as you might guess, the Peak Hotel. 3 years later, it had to be rebuilt due to its growing popularity among the wealthy. With the opening of the funicular, lands around Victoria Peak became the most prestigious residential areas of the colony. In 1971, the Hong Kong and Shanghai Hotels Company purchased the Peak Tram Company for 3 million Hong Kong dollars in cash and began construction of the Peak Tower on the site of the hotel. And what's here now? It's before your eyes. I said the pig tram was originally built by a rich man for the rich, so who has transported? For example, American President Richard Nixon, US Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, and the Queen of Thailand. There is Hollywood and local movie stars, of course. Maybe I'm now sitting in a seat which many years ago was warmed up for me by, let's say, Monica Bellucci. I got my ticket on Big Bus, the ones who do these big bus tours. It cost me 140 Hong Kong dollars. It includes a rise to the top, rise to the bottom, the wheel set, descent to the bottom, and an observation deck visit. If you don't buy a combined ticket, you'll most likely have to pay separately. I thought that the journey on the tram would be longer. To be honest, it's about 9 minutes. 9 minutes up, 9 minutes down. But what takes the longest? That's right, the observation platform from which you can see everything. We've ridden the tram, now the goal is to ride the longest escalator in the world. Of course, maybe it's nothing special, an escalator is an escalator, but the very fact that it's supposedly the longest is already interesting. Hong Kong has a record-breaking escalator, and it really is considered a type of transport. It is called mid-levels. It stretches 800 meters and rises to a height of 135 meters. In the morning, the serpentine machine takes passengers down, and in the evening, takes them up. That is, it changes direction depending on the time of day. Every day, this escalator helps 60,000 residents to get to work in the city center and then get back home in the evening. Okay, technically it's not even really an escalator, it's a whole system of overhead crossings, which cost 240 million Hong Kong dollars or 31 million US dollars to construct. It was launched 30 years ago. Nice job. And are Hong Kongers really that lazy to decide to make their lives easier in this way? The thing is, Hong Kong is a landscape with a lot of elevation change, so the transport system has to be created taking into account this natural splendor. Before the escalator, traffic jams were frequent and long in the mid-levels area, so how to make drivers leave their cars and go on foot? That's where the idea of the escalator came in. It passes through 14 streets with an exit on each. And despite the escalator serving as a means of transport, riding it is free. We're moving, guys.
This is one of the favorite parks. There are a few parks like this in Hong Kong.
As unique as Hong Kong's ground transportation is, it owes its development to water transport. Hong Kong Port is one of the largest ports in Asia and the world. It is one of the busiest and most efficient in the region and the world. Just 200 years ago, Hong Kong was a small fishing village and a pirate haven. It was home to about 10,000 people. The British began to use the island as a transport point for their ships and a warehouse for opium that was being transported from India to China. A local British administrator appeared here under the name of Charles Elliot, who declared the territory tax-free. This attracted a lot of merchants to the island, especially from Macau and Guangzhou. The British developed a port and naval base here and established 5 regular sea routes. What is transported? Cotton, fabrics, metal products, silk, tea, porcelain, sugar. But it seemed the British Hong Kongers, traders and pirates had one common enemy, and it was the elements. One of the destructive events of that time was the typhoon of 1874. 35 sea vessels were damaged, about 2,000 people died, which was 2% of the entire population at that time. Typhoons are still a danger today. Currently within Hong Kong, there are special typhoon shelters that are designed for both people and ships. Diesel cars cannot be shipped to Hong Kong because they produce a lot of harmful emissions. That's why Seoul has an old Pajero, which was brought from Japan, and it's diesel. You won't be able to bring in such cars anymore. He loves this car and takes good care of it, like Jackie Chan, who also loves them, like Jackie Chan in the movies.
In the movie, yeah.
Alright friends, if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like it. I also have other episodes about Hong Kong attractions, so check it out. And don't forget to like and subscribe.